Hey, welcome to Wildly Creative Life, where it's not about how much creative work you can make, although get ready for the floodgates to open. It's about making your life an art project. No matter your creative medium, I'm here with equal parts soul food and practicality to help you unleash your gifts and create it all with intention and fun. I'm Brooke Schultz. Let's get creating. Oh, my friends, welcome to this episode. It's going to be an incredibly fun one because we have Duncan Wardle in the house. He is the former head of innovation and creativity at Disney. He's brought some of the most audacious, crazy, cool ideas to life, like sending Buzz Lightyear into space with NASA, building an Olympic-length swimming pool down Main Street in Disneyland for Michael Phelps. And he's now worked with companies like Google, Apple, the NBA, Coca-Cola, and many more to help them tap into the deep wells of creativity within their companies through his workshops and his speaking. I'm honored to have him on the show, and I know you're going to love his playful approach to everything. I'm fascinated by the way he taps into everyone's creative gifts. So this is going to help you in your own leadership, whether you're leading a team of your own, you're leading a creative movement, or you're leading a family, or all of the above. In this episode, I ask him tough questions like how to believe in yourself again after many failures, how to tap into creativity when you have nothing special on your schedule, how to choose an idea when you have oh so many, because that is my challenge, and I know a challenge for many of you, and how to innovate when you have $0. You're going to love his energy. I can't wait to hear your takeaways. Take a screenshot wherever you're listening right now and tag us both on Instagram. I'm at Brooke B. Schultz, and he's at Duncan J. Wardle, DUNCANJWARDLE. So let us know that you're listening. Duncan also has a book coming out in a couple weeks. It's available for pre-order now, called The Imagination Emporium, and it's chock full of just fun tools for tapping into your creativity. We've got the link at the show notes for you to pre-order on Amazon. And if you're listening to this episode when it goes live, happy Thanksgiving for those in the US who are celebrating. And my Black Friday sale is in full swing. This Black Friday sale has special goodies for both my family photo clients, current and future, if it's on your vision board in 2025 to have imagery of your family that doesn't just look like your family, but also feels like your family. I'd love to be your girl. And if you're a fellow photographer, I also have some goodies just for you at the best prices that you will see all year. So for access to my Black Friday sale, you can find the link in the show notes. If you're a client wanting to lock in a photo shoot for 2025 at 2024 pricing, message me the word inquire on Instagram at Brooke B. Schultz. And as always, the best and first access to everything always happens via email. So just go to brookebschultz.com, grab a freebie of your choice there, get on my email list, and you'll get the VIP treatment that way. And with that, please enjoy my conversation with Duncan Wardle. Everyone, welcome back to Wildly Creative Life, and I'm so excited to be here with Duncan today. Duncan, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Well, your bio is so impressive, and we're super excited to be chatting with you today. But my first question for you is, somebody initially looking at your body of work and the amazing things that you've created might be tempted to say, well, I could never do that. How would you respond to somebody who doesn't have maybe as much belief in themselves at this point in their journey?
That's an easy one. Coffee boy, Disney, cappuccino lad, 1987. Used to go and get my boss 6 cappuccinos a day from Bar Italia on Frith Street. Ended up as head of innovation and creativity, but didn't start that way. There's a great quote from Walt Disney that says, all of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. So what would you say to somebody who says, well, that's easy for him to say because his dreams have come true, but I've tried all these different things. I've tried many times, maybe failed a lot. What would you say to somebody in that position?
Get up and give it another go. I mean, look, the amount of times I was told no at Disney over 30 years, and every time somebody said no, I was like, right, I'll prove you wrong, mate. I was told by one of these career counseling people that I would never be able to move to the United States of America. I would never work for the Walt Disney Company. I was told I could never build a full-size swimming pool down, Olympic pool down Main Street, USA for Michael Phelps to swim down because if it leaked, we'd kill 10,000 people. I was told I'd never be able to send my son's Buzz Lightyear into space on a space shuttle. He is now the longest serving astronaut in space. So every time somebody says no to me, I'm like, all right, come on then, give it a go. So look, Times Square, to do a Times Square buyout, to buy all the billboards in Times Square, the digital billboard, what's that? A couple of $100,000? No, it's $2,300, and I will do a Times Square buyout on December the 6th. It's a charity. You buy these 15 seconds off. So I'm a great believer in persistence. I'm a great believer, whether or not you think you can or think you can't, you're probably right. But if you believe in yourself, and young people ask me, well, how can I be successful? I said, oh, it's easy. The only A I ever got in school was absent because I didn't show up for the exam. I was a total failure. The only university I went to was because it was the one that accepted me. But I loved English literature and I loved history, and guess what? I got A's in both of them. Well, it's common sense. You apply that principle to everyday life. If you do what you love, you'll be really successful. If you love podcasting, you'll be really good at it because you go the extra mile, you go the extra effort, and you love doing what you do. And so I see so often people in jobs that they are not enjoying. You're like, well, go find something you enjoy. And look, as long as nobody gets hurt and as long as we're all healthy, nothing else matters.
I love that. So, in your experience, do you think that there are times, even in doing what you love, that there's times where you don't love it? Is that a thing? Or do you think do what you love and, the negative parts?
I would tell you, I worked for the Walt Disney Company for 30 years. I could count on one hand the amount of times I really didn't love it at the time. It was just after 9/11, and I was in charge of international marketing at the time, and I was asked to fly around the world to meet people I'd never met to tell them they were out of a job, and that was just horrible. I was told I could do it by email. I said, no, that's not going to happen. But no, on the whole, I loved it. I loved Disney because if you had a really big mad idea and they liked it, they get behind it and support it, and there was nothing that was too impossible. That's what I liked about working for Disney. If you said to somebody, right, I bet you can't do this in 30 minutes, they're like, oh, bet I can. And that's what I liked about the culture, was nothing was impossible.
I love that. So in daily life, you're looking at your day ahead, there's nothing particularly sparkly or fantastic going on. How?
Whoa, hang on a minute. Unless you're in jail, right? Unless you're in prison, walk outside, look at the trees, speak to a bird, go see a butterfly. I mean, come on, life's not that bad, blimey. Look, I live in the Sunshine State, and I am Charlie Brown going back to kick the football because I grew up in Scotland. And every single morning I open the blinds, and every single morning I'm like, it's sunny. You're like, well, duh.
Yes, I love that so much. So being able to just be present and enjoy what's in front of you is such a gift, and it's such a skill. Do you think that's a skill that you've developed over time, or do you think that's a gift that's inherent to you?
I believe in the spirit of play, and I'll tell you for why. Here comes artificial intelligence, right? And it's going to take away so many people's jobs. Well, I've been working with Google on their AI program called DeepMind. And I asked the chief engineer what she believed would be the most employable skill sets of the next decade, and how would I compete with what she was creating. He said, oh, that's easy. She said, the things that will be the hardest for me to program. And I said, well, what are they? She said, the ones with which you were born. We were all born creative. When you were a little girl and you were given a gift and it came in a huge box and you took the gift out of the box, what do you spend the rest of the week playing with?
Yeah, the box for sure.
Right? It was your rocket ship, it was your fort, it was your castle, it was anything you wanted it to be, till you went to the number one killer of creativity and imagination, education. And the first thing your first grade teacher told you to do, and they're telling your first graders today, so be careful, don't forget to colour in between the lines. It's the very first thing that we learn. If I ask you a small child, right, what's that number one question they ask you again and again and again and again and again?
Why?
Why? Because they know you lied the first time, that's why. They are after the core consumer truth. They are after the insight for innovation comes on the fifth or sixth why. Our data today stops at the first or second why. So if I were to survey 5,000 people and ask them why they go to Disney on holiday, the number one response we'll get is, I go for the new attractions. You go, oh, okay, well then I'll just spend $250 million on a capital investment strategy. But if I pause for a moment and say, well, why do you go for the new attractions? Well, no, I like the classics. Well, why do you like the classics? I like It's a Small World. Oh, God, no. Why It's a Small World? Well, I remember the music. Oh, God, no, not the music. Why the music? Well, it's my mum's favourite ride. We used to go every summer. Why is that important to you 25 years later? I take my daughter down. Boom, there's your insight for innovation. It has nothing to do with the capital investment strategy whatsoever, and everything to do with our personal memory and nostalgia. That's a communication campaign. But then we go to the number one killer of curiosity, education. And the next thing our first grade teacher tells us to do is don't forget to colour, after she's told us don't forget to colour in between the lines, or he for that matter. The next thing they tell us to do is stop asking why, because there's only one right answer. We do the same thing as parents, by the way. And so, but I genuinely believe the hardest things to program into AI in the next 5 years will be creativity, imagination, curiosity, intuition, and empathy. We're born with all five. We just
Mm.
forgotten how to use them. I did an experiment at a university. I had 3,000 university students. And I brought in one first grade class with their teacher, and I said, hands up, who's creative? Me. 30 little hands just did not hesitate. And the other hands stayed down. And that was really sad.
Mm. 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 That's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that. So, what would you say to somebody out there who's listening, like, well, my kids are in that system. My kids are in that creativity killing system. And I'm trying my best as a parent to counteract that and to, bring out all of their creativity, empathy, curiosity, all of this in the hours that they're not in school. What tips would you give to parents in that
Yeah,
situation?
well, they're with you more than they're with their teachers, right? And so let them colour outside the lines. And when they ask why, let them keep going and give them the
Mm.
damn box. And you get in and play with the box. That's what we've forgotten how to do. When was the last time you saw a rabbit in the sky, or a dinosaur, or a bat, or a car? Because when we grow up, we only see clouds. You're like, no, no, no. But we used to see everything, and so, but we stop it. We kill everything. It's terrible. Look, I encourage their imagination as much as you can. And I also believe that people ask me a lot of mums and dads, well, let's spend a lot of time in their games. Is that killing creativity? No, 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 no.
Like video games?
Yeah, yeah, video games are creative problem solving 101. They get to choose their own adventure, their own team, their own weapons, their own avatars. And gaming will be the future of education. Today, we walk into a classroom and some boring person at the front goes, in the year 3 AD, Brutus stabbed Julius Caesar on the steps of the Senate in Rome. Well, no, but wait a minute. If now with augmented reality and where it's heading for our kids is they're going to be able to walk into the Senate in Rome, debate with the senators, and tell Julius Caesar to look behind him. So
Mm.
that's the Apple Vision Pro at the moment is $3,000. It's too expensive and it's too bulky. But within 3 to 5 years, that'll be a pair of glasses and/or contact lenses, and suddenly the world will change very, very, very quickly. And it's going to be such fun. Education will be fun. Ooh, what a concept!
Yes, I'm on the same page 100%. Tell us about and walk us through some of the tools that you use, the creativity ways that you help people tap back into their design thinking, their innovation.
So I have three principles. Take the BS out of innovation and the intimidation and make it accessible to normal, hardworking, busy, good people.
Mm.
Most of innovation is common sense. You're not allowed to say it because then people won't buy what you're selling. But most of it is, in fact, common sense. Make creativity tangible for 50% of us who are very uncomfortable with ambiguity or grey. But far more importantly, make it fun. If I give people tools they enjoy using, then they'll use them. Here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. So when you see a business book in a business environment and it's in the office, where's the book?
What do you mean? Where is it?
Where is it? Where is the book sitting in an office when you see it? Where is it?
On a shelf.
Bingo. Well, that's a waste of money, isn't it? But yes, they're always on shelves. They're on coffee tables. I'm going to read it tomorrow, but you never get to it, do you? No. Why? Because we're busy. So I thought, okay, what book have I ever read that is an instruction book that I could read one page today, don't have to worry about the rest of the book today because I'm a busy person and I get exactly what I want. My mum's cookbook. If I want shepherd's pie, I'm going to pay 67. So I've designed the book the same way. It says, have you ever been to a brainstorm where nothing ever happened? Go to page 12. Fed up your boss shooting your ideas down? Go to page 42. So you don't have to read the whole damn thing. So now let me ask you another question. Close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed. How many days are there in September?
30.
Keep your eyes closed. How did you know? How did you remember? How did you learn? Or what can you see with your eyes closed?
30 days hath September is the rhyme that I
Okay,
use.
come on then. Come on, give it to us. Come on.
Oh, 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest of
Excellent.
31.
Perfect. So you can open your eyes. 30% of the audience will do what you just did. They've just told me they learned by listening. Yeah, how old were you when you learned that? 6? How did you remember it? Because you had heard it. Have you ever seen anybody count their knuckles? January,
Oh,
February.
yeah.
Right, so they learned that. Well, you actually learned that, but you don't remember it. They learned the rhyme. They don't remember they learn by doing. They're kinesthetic learners, and 40% of an audience will go, "No, I could just see a calendar with a number 13." Where they're your visual learners. So the book is designed for all three people. I love doing things I haven't done before because if it scares me, it's exciting. So each chapter has a QR code with a Spotify playlist for our auditory learners. Each chapter now has an animated video with animated Duncan and a bunch of animated characters because I'd never been on a green screen before. We pop out of each chapter and tell you how to use the tools. And then for the kinesthetic learners, starting on December 10th, we're just programming it as we speak. Why? Because I've never done it before. You
Mm.
can ask the book questions through ChatGPT and it will answer you through WhatsApp and it'll tell you how to use the tools. So, but I created this character called Archie because he's a direct descendant of Archimedes. Because when you ask people where are they and where they get their best ideas, they always say in the shower. Well, Archimedes was in the bath. So my daughter walks in as I'm designing him. She looks down and she goes, "Dad, he's an old white guy. You're an old white guy. You can't do that crap anymore." I was like, "Oh, fine." So I had to create a whole new suite of three new characters. So here they are. This is Nova. She introduces you to the innovation tools. She's a robot. Zing, gender neutral, introduces you to the energizers. And Spark introduces you to the creative behaviors. Why? Because if it's fun, people might use it. It's a simple. We're all busy. We're all stressed. We're all tired. We've all got other things to worry about. But boy, if I could read just one page and know exactly what to do next and it was enjoyable, why not?
I love it. How can people apply this idea? If it was fun, people might be more engaged. Kids might be more on board with, the chore chart that you're thinking of doing. People, customers might be more engaged. Give us some applications for this idea of if it's fun, people might be more likely to use it.
Okay, close your eyes. Where are you usually, and what are you doing when you get your best ideas?
For me, I'm walking in the sun.
So you can open your eyes. I've done this up to 20,000 people, and I get them all to write down what they just said in the shower, in the bath. And do you know how many people write down at work? Nobody ever writes down the words at work. Never. Why?
Uh,
Because when we're at work, we're very stressed and very busy. So why do we never have our best ideas when we need them? Well, close your eyes again. I want you to picture the last verbal argument you were in with somebody, bit of a shouting match, bit angry at each other. Now you turn to walk away from that argument now. You're 5 seconds, 10, 15 seconds away from the argument. And what just popped into your head totally spontaneously the second you turn to walk away from that argument?
how to win it. The
Yeah, the
winning.
killer one. Yeah, the killer one-liner. That one perfect, beautiful line that you wished you'd used during the argument, but you didn't, did you? No, because when you're in an argument, your brain is moving at 1,000 miles an hour, right, defending itself. Guess what? Our brains look like at work: emails, presentations, weekly reports. And I hear myself say, "I don't have time to think." And when you don't have time to think, the door, otherwise known as reticular activating system, nobody remembers it. Call it a door. Between your conscious and subconscious brain is firmly closed. When that door is closed, you're only working with your conscious brain. You can Google this, what percentage of my brain is conscious. 13% of your brain is conscious, 87% of your brain is subconscious, but you don't have access to it when you say, "I don't have time to think." I run an energizer, there's plenty of them in the book. There's 60-second exercises with one intention and one intention only: to make you laugh. Why? Because the moment I hear laughter, I know that I've opened the door between your conscious and subconscious
Mm.
brain, metaphorically placed you back in the shower where it is when you have your best ideas. Now, I often hear people say, "Oh, but we don't have the resources." So let me ask you a question. Who are the most creative people you've ever met?
Kids.
Bingo. How much money they got? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't. Oh, ow. That is the importance of play. I don't expect people to be playful every second of every day. I do
Mm.
expect people to be playful when they're trying to develop big ideas.
Mm. What would you say to somebody who says, "My problem's not ideas. I have way too many big ideas. My problem is I can't decide which one to execute
Ah,
first."
so there is a tool in the book called Stargazer. I borrowed it, stole it with pride, from Richard Branson, one of the greatest entrepreneurs on the planet. He runs Virgin. It's called Stargazer. And here's the thing: when you've got all of the ideas, Virgin is a very elastic brand, right? Richard's done condoms and he's done space travel and everything in between. Disney, very non-elastic brand, family magical
Mm.
experiences. So how does Virgin decide what products to bring to market out of all these choices? Well, there's this tool called Stargazer, which takes the subjectivity out of the idea business and allows you to come to the idea that's actually the right one for the consumer and the right one for your business. But again, it's super easy to, I can't describe it because we're on audio today because I normally would draw it. It looks like what do they call a starfish. So it's got 5 legs, if you will. Each leg has 3 little points on it. And then you might have your own criteria. Is this aligned with our brand? Is this embedded in consumer insight? Is it relevant to my consumer? Can I actually get it done in the next 12 months? Will it meet my fiscal goals? And is it socially engaging? I just made those up, right? And you go around and each leg has a different criteria on it. And then you've got 47 ideas or however many ideas you've got. And idea number 17, you use blue and you go around and say, does it do, the closer it is to the center of the wheel or the starfish, the poorer job it does. Does it do a poor job, a good job, or an outstanding job of being aligned with our brand, etc. And then once you put the dots on, you do exactly what you do when you're a kid. You join the dots, and then you do a different idea in a different color, and eventually one idea will rise to the top as to meeting your criteria the best, not the one the boss likes the best. So it's a genius of a tool, simple, effective, powerful, and fun. All the tools are designed to be simple, powerful, and fun.
I love that. Is that the brainstorming tool that you use most often with people? Are there others?
No, that's how to measure. That's how to measure it. No, brainstorming is very important. When you normally go into a brainstorm, there's one person at the front with a flip chart, right? And you all shout stuff out, and the person captures it on the flip chart. Here's the problem, right? We train our lawyers, we train the IT team, we train our finance team, we train sales. When it comes to brainstorming, we just tell people to get in the room with a big idea with no training whatsoever. And so the book actually outlines exactly how to run a brainstorm. When you're up there at the front with a flip chart, I do this as in my workshops to show people, and I get people to shout out ideas, and I capture them all on the flip chart. Then I turn around and say, right, hands up, who said one of the words on the flip chart? It is always less than 15% of the room. Why? Because on average, in every room you walk into, up to 25% of the room are the extroverts. They're the people who talk before they think. I like to say I talk as I think, but I know that's a lie, but I'm comfortable with it. But then you have 75% of the room who think before they talk, but you never, ever, ever hear from them. That goes unspoken. Well, that's a total waste of money. So the first thing I do is create an environment. I put people into groups of 4. Why 4? Why not 5? Why not 6? Why not 7? And I remove the table, and I'll explain the importance of the table. America's Got Talent, American Idol. There are usually 3 celebrities on the show. What physical object separates those celebrities from the talent?
The table.
Yeah, and what's the role of the celebrities on the show?
To judge and make all the decisions.
The moment you leave somebody on the other side of a table in a meeting, a brainstorm, and a presentation, they will think reductively and judge your work rather than building on it. A table is a massive barrier to participation and engagement, particularly for introverts. I put us in a group of 4. We sit instantly 2 in front, 2 to the side, knees almost touching, comfortably uncomfortable, because I'm building an energy in the room. Now, I, as the facilitator, if the person to my right is a screaming extrovert, I'm just going to turn to the person on my left and ask them, what colour do you think it is? Or if the 2 people either side of me are screaming extroverts, I'm going to lean right into the introvert and say, what price point do you think it is? The introverts are looking for an invitation. You must give them one. Why 4? Because I've done it 1,000 times. That's why 4. And once you get above a ratio of 1 person to 3 other people, the introvert will shut down and they won't participate.
That's fascinating.
The other
What
thing is
about
we don't teach people how to capture an idea. And so I can get in a room with a group of people, and within less than half an hour, they'll develop a brand new product. They'll know the name, the shape, the size, the package, the product, the weight, the price point, the promotional partner, where they're going to sell it with, and they'll know everything they need to know in less than 30 minutes. But they'll capture it in such a way that they know what to do next, as opposed to a flip chart with 6 bullet points on it.
That's so fascinating. What about for solo entrepreneurs who are doing the brainstorming process by themselves?
Good challenge, but there's plenty of other places. So they have friends. I love to connect because I just build off each other's ideas, right? And so actually, we'll do an exercise. Well, we'll do the exercise in just a minute. There's Zoom, right? You got 3 friends on a Zoom. We can do it on a Zoom. There's spatial. I mean, during COVID, you know, I do live speeches, I do live workshops. Well, guess what? For 2 years, that was gone. So I phoned up a 17-year-old lad in London, said, take me virtual. And we were doing 500-600 events a year. I can speak in 37 different languages simultaneously through an AI robot. But I'd never done it before. So people say, oh, well, no, give it a go. By the way, Apple Vision Pro. Go to your local Apple store, book an appointment, they'll give you half an hour, stick it on your head and give it a go. We're all afraid of things we haven't tried. give it a go. It's far more intuitive than you think it is. And
Yeah.
augmented reality is here and it's only going to get better.
Mm. Do you think that you've trained yourself to be comfortable with doing new things? You said that that's what excites you. Do you think you've trained yourself to do that? Or has that just always been something that drives you, doing new things?
I always liked the projects where I only had a 50-50 stake of pulling it off. So, for example, when I thought about sending Buzz Lightyear into space, the doll, as soon as the chairperson said, right, it's approved, you thought, oh shit, how am I going to get this done? But that's what made it exciting. So then you go pitch NASA, right? And they could say no, right? I mean, I'm a great believer in you pick up the phone, you make your pitch. They could say yes, they could say no, they could laugh, they could put the phone down. Who cares, right? You
Yeah.
just make your pitch.
Because you're in that state of play, even while you're in these higher stakes, some could argue higher stakes environments, but you're just in that state of play and just having fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, when you're talking to 23 people from mission control and astronauts, and you've got this little plastic doll on the desk, they look at you. You could tell that half the room absolutely loved the idea of taking Buzz Lightyear into space, but no one was going to say so first. Typical
Ah,
corporate meeting, right? And half the room wanted to throw me out through the window without opening it first, but so what?
so what? I love that. Well, this has been absolutely delicious. I've just eaten up every word. Thank you so much for your time. Will you tell my audience how they can get more of you, where they can get the book, where can they find more Duncan and have more Duncan in their lives?
The book is available on December 10th, but it's already for pre-sale, theimaginationemporium.com. And again, it's fun. So who cares about the rest of it?
Amazing. Thank you, Duncan. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely Thanksgiving.
You too.